So nothing is new under the sun, only that which has been forgotten. But if you notice, that is the reality that we're dealing with now, that these particular subjects, when I can start talking about murder and talk about any kind of thing under the sun for damn near 9 years, and then all of a sudden in 2000, I start talking about sex, and they say, Bobby done lost his damn mind. Something that everybody has done, you see what I'm saying, at one time or another, and something that your parents have done, because why would you even be here? You see what I'm saying? But all of a sudden, people couldn't take it. That is because we now are more like the 19th century Victorian British, and the 19th century Victoria British is like the ancient African were now. Well, is like the ancient African was now. You see? So we're talking about we are more on an Amish Puritan state. You see, this religion has basically shut us down until we're talking about a divine rebellion that has to take place even in your mind. So you don't have to become freaky. That's not the point. You know what I'm saying? Society probably won't allow that. But they don't have to doggone control your mind. So at least become freaky in the mind. Because we're talking about a metaphysical act. We're talking about overhauling different concepts that shut you down spiritually. You see what I'm saying? Now the ones that can somehow, like they say, reality is only what you can get away with. And that's basically the way it is. Your boy, what's his name? Got a book out on that. Did the Cosmic Trigger. Robert Anton Wilson. There's a book called Reality is Only What You Can Get Away With. And basically that's what it is. So basically, I'm going ahead of myself, but in so many words, we have to change the concept of our mind and basically expand our mind to try to understand some things. Now, we're going to deal also with the dream world today and the blue pill. Anybody checked out the blue pill yet? All right. Now, see, I already know, because I done found out something. You can't go to the depths of what you need to go now unless you got that blue pill. Because the natural stuff is about like a hurricane. See, what we're trying to do here is go beyond, and we're going to get into all what that is.
I thought you named that book Reality.
Reality is What You Can Get Away With, Robert Anton Wilson. Get a book called Quantum Psychology by Robert Anton Wilson. A good book to try to study to redo the mind. Yeah, and The Rebels and Devils, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. But Quantum Psychology by Robert Anton Wilson. You know, a prolific writer, but that's a real good one to try to understand. We're trying to redo the mind or undo ourselves. So in one way, reality is what you can get away with. And so I talked about the blue pill because what we're dealing with here is some people say, no, I want to go natural. You know, I don't want to deal with the pharmaceutical. See, we don't understand. Alchemy is the origins of pharmaceutical. See, pharmaceutical is not necessarily bad. It's just the white boy say only pharmaceutical. Because he's trying to put everybody on lockdown for the simple fact he's trying to doggone make money. And he don't want no natural stuff to combine. So he always does the dichotomy. He always does the extreme. You see what I'm saying? So two extremes is just as bad as the opposing force. So the white boy is saying, or the so-called powers that be says only pharmaceutical, because the pharmaceutical industry want to keep people dependent on pharmaceutical aspect and don't want to give you the medicinal and the herbal aspect of that because it's a money game. You see what I'm saying? So that's a form of pharmaceutical imperialism or fascism to keep you locked down on that and go against anything medicinal. So that's a political move. But it's not that pharmaceutical was all just bad. You know what I'm saying? This is like some brother said, brother, well, won't you think that the Twa people, the most ancient Twa people on the planet, are those particular people that still in touch with nature would be the most spiritual? I said, no, because Dr. Andau went down that motherfucker, and they told that motherfucker he got 48 hours to get out of there. Them goddamn Twa people was going to eat his ass. They was going to eat Dr. Andau. The pygmies going to have that motherfucker for supper. Everything must deteriorate because it is the putrefaction. The phoenix rises up from the ashes. So we're not taking a circle, or we are revolving back into the primal. We are evolving into the new paradigm, and the new paradigm comes from deterioration, putrefaction, and degradation. So the most ready or the most sublime aspect is the nigger. It's the greatest invention on the planet. That's why the white man knows it. And I say nigger because I don't want to say Negro or black person of the ancient. I'm talking about a new person. God knows we know about this new person. We call black folks. You see what I'm saying? We shun that. We are ashamed of that, but that is the smooth ashlar, the finished stone. In all its degradation and deterioration, that is the only thing that is capable of going to the next paradigm. Something that is totally redone from its original origin. And that is what the Christ is. A new God. And what is a new God but black people? In their most, you know, we invent new ways to fuck up every hour. Every fucking hour. Some new shit. You know somebody done topped some shit that you knew, something that was ridiculous last month. Some motherfucker done come and did some bullshit this month that done top that shit. Just when you're just talking in a conversation, you be like, I can't believe this motherfucker just said this shit. I can't believe this person said this. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe this person said this. Because it is in the mentally ill that you get the new paradigm. In a world like this, you better be crazy. That's the only way you get out of this shit. It is in the mentally ill that you get the new paradigm. You see what I'm saying? Think about it. Some crazy motherfucker gonna do some shit that's genius only because he's crazy. See, we changing this shit around. We going above all other shit. Brother and sister, oh, this righteous man and all this shit here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's lovely, lovely, true and indeed, righteous. Oh, everything is beautiful, everything is blessed. That ain't nothing but some same old fundamentalism. We saying that it is in them crazy motherfuckers that all the shit comes to pass. It is in the mentally ill. And what is more mentally ill than a damn 20th century or 21st century nigger? That's where you get it. That's why the white man copying you. You know, you gotta know, here's James Brown doing this hollering. Somebody said, wait a minute, hold on. Go back and analyze that shit. They take the tape and rewind it. The motherfucker be hollering on the beats. That motherfucker done made a fucking damn percussion sound out of hollering. Now who the fuck can do some shit like that but a damn Negro? And you don't understand that people around the world copy you based on your insanity. But then I figured it out. It's only in the insane. That's why you the only motherfucker can do the shit. Because you the only people other people are too new. And that is, now we're not talking some that brother that's inventing shit. No, that's in the Grail mythology. It's called the Fisher King. The Fisher King is an ancient race of the fish people, Jesus Christ. The fish people, he's so old. Until the world that he live in, he's outgrown it. So he's gone into, catapulted into a realm of racial senility. He can't function with the regular flow of the planet, but how he functions make the regular flow of the planet move. It gives the flavor and the energy to the regular flow of the planet. They had a good damn show on Mark Twain. Mark Twain. And the guy said, the white man said, we are not Europeans. He said, we're Europeans. He said, because what makes us different than Europeans is space, because they got a lot of land, and race. We'll forever change because we got these Negroes here. You see? They said without the black person in America, America wouldn't have been nothing but a sad copy of England. Go get the movie, The Holy Grail, y'all follow me, because this is some profound shit. It's got to come out this way. Just got to understand. You got to reach past. That's why I ain't giving you some shit that you can agree about. But just think about it for a minute. That's why the sister can't figure out the brother. She said, I don't know why the motherfucker don't like me. You too goddamn orderly. You too straight-laced. He might rebel against a crazy motherfucker, but he like a crazy motherfucker. He like a crazy broad. He might talk shit. That's the one he'll tiptoe back to at night. That crazy-ass broad. I can't figure out. She's driving me crazy. I can't figure the motherfucker out. You know, a motherfucker to change up on you every other day. Just change. Be like, damn, I thought everything was going fool, and now you coming with the goddamn drama. Any brother can bear witness to that shit.
Yes, sir.
You know, you think you got it right, but that's the only motherfucker you can really respect. Somebody that you know, you say, I got you figured out, and now we could just chill. I could just sit back, get my motherfucking damn clicker, and click the damn channel on the TV, then some drama shit happens. But you don't know that that's supposed to happen because it's the society training you to tell you that that's wrong, and that's the only flavor you got is some damn drama happening. Some motherfucker clowning on your ass. And the sisters ain't figured it out either. Why can't the black man be what I want the black man to be? You see what I'm saying? And I couldn't figure it out too. I said, man, they got a nigga named Greg Callis. This nigga go to jail. We was in college. That nigga, we was freshmen together, and he went to jail all 4 years. Every semester, he go to jail. Till the college, it was, and I remember the day the school say, fuck that. You taking your ass back to damn Bronx. You know, some nigga, some crazy nigga from New York, down south, and like, we tired of that old shit. You taking your ass back to Bronx, we throwing your ass out. And I remember the day he was waiting on the damn mom and them to come get him. He was all hooked up with one of the finest women in the school. She liked that crazy nigga. And I remember Greg Collins, that nigga was deranged. But he ain't never had no problem with no women. You like them no good niggas. So they be like, you know, I don't know what's going on with the black man. That's the shit. I got a friend named Carl Deal right now. Brother got hit and got killed in November on Memorial Drive. This brother was the archetype of what every black woman say they want. Kind, considerate, loving, give you his last damn dollar. He already starting to fuck up. Give you his last dollar. He was everything that the son of sister say he want. That nigga died alone. You see what I'm saying? He died alone. Because for some reason there's something inside of you saying we got to rebel. Now you got to follow me on this thing here, because what we're dealing with here is we're dealing with this alcohol that ferments. It was something and made something else. All right? This was something originally fermented into this to make something else. Then the nigga went and pushed two of them together, and now we got some real juice. But anyway. Yeah, libation. Look, okay. All right. But anyway, come to find out this stuff here is made. The Moors taught them how to do this. Taught them how to make this particular alcohol. And we thinking it's a white people stuff. Now, I taught somebody said, well, brother, don't alcohol burn brain cells? I do believe it is the fucking brain, this the one that's got you on lockdown. This brain is the matrix. You want to know what the matrix is? If they say this is an illusion, the only thing that makes this illusion possible is the human brain. And any kind of thing that got you to the next level was something that blocked out the rational senses of the mind. And that's how you can get a doorway and an opening. You see what I'm saying? And so, therefore, the pharmaceutical or whatever kind of doggone medicinal thing you did to trip on, that's what we use. That's why the hell you think they shut down Timothy Leary and them experiments on acid and LSD in the damn 60s, in the late 60s, early 70s. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying, why you think they did all that? Because they didn't want a certain amount of things to go to the other realm. So we don't need to hear no shit about you talking some crazy stuff now because we living in a crazy fucking world. You know what I'm saying? We got Denzel telling his son to sell out on the movies. You know what I'm saying? We got doggone George Bush saying, no, we gonna take all your doggone Social Security money and put it in bombs. You see what I'm saying? To fight a war against some people that they put in place and paid to damn go over there. You know they paid the Taliban $150 million in January of 2001 or something like that. You see. So my point here is it's all crazy. Now, let's go on. Let's get a libation going right quick, and then we can go on because we want to deal with this dreams and the underworld. A lot of other things we're going to deal with at this thing, and we're going to do this thing in the course of 2 days. You know, and also, like I said, these are the Apollo spirits. These are the Apollo spirits. Apparently, when a lot of stuff actually becomes out of print very soon when people start revealing things and all. These are the Apollo spirits and all. Some people can write these down, or you can write down the name of the information I'm getting it from or whatever if you can find it. But originally this particular book became out of print and all, but we will give you the names and stuff, so we're going to call on those particular ones. All right, we take this and we blow 4 ways, you know. Did I spit on you? Oh, I believe I got you. I believe I got you. I believe I got you. But don't worry about it. You're the one that made that stove possible, so you worth a good spit. You know, so. Anyway, Zarabanda. El Cristo Negro, La Espiritus en Tranquilas, La Santísima Muerte, San Simón, El Cristo Rey, Madre de la Luna, Madre de Agua, La Santísima Pedro Iman, Francisco de Suici Reyes, Mama Shola, Kecumbo, Locayo, Otincha, Sheola, Shumala, Tiaisha, Omagumu. Well, we'll go a few more. You know, they know what it is. We know what it is. Oshun, Olakun, Yeminya, Oya, Abd-Urt, Har-Safi, Oshosi, Orisha Oku, Sekhmet, Sekmayat, Sashet, Selket, Mim, Nineveh, Mintu, Urzuli, Papagate, Dambalawedo, Edowedo, Bridget, Marasha Baphomet, Lucifer, Sut-On, Sheikh-On, Sut-Anubis, Sut-Ha, Har-Sefi, Newt, Hadit, Ra-Har-Qit, Anana, Ishtar, Astarte, Azazel, Samaza, Goetia, Kalippa, Dagon, Dogon, Amma, Neama, Ba, Ka, Ugaru, Digitalia stages, Perseus, Jason, Medea, Echidna, Araskagal, Apep, Sutnesi, Ramanatu, Shiva, Rudra, Dionysus, Epimetheus, Kali, Kalima, Pravati, Krishna, Radha, Virtra, Durga, Layla, Lilith, Lilitu, Hedheru, Nepturt, Mim, Osa, Aset, New Isis, Hedheru, Kim Isis, Kim Heru, Kimophis, Kanum, Ptah, Rerit, Lilith, Layla, Lilitu, Metatron, Metronet, Medaratan, Shekinah, Upper Shekinah, Lower Shekinah, Malkuth, Da, Thoth, Tahuti, Hermes, Iberus, Kelcerabis, Sathis, Sahu, Dagon, Drakon, Draco, Leviathan, Latayathon, Tiamat, Samaza, Amit, Baal, Baal-Shem, White Buffalo, Awas, Obas, Ibas, Cthulhu, Shub-Niggurath, Hastar, Yosatos, Nearly Hotep. Let's see. Chrysalis, Chrysosar, Eros, Hermaphrodite. Let's see. Let me give a couple. Persephone, Demeter, Medusa, Minerva, Diana. Well, Ashe. All gods known and unknown, Ashe. Okay. They, you know, they get the picture. All right. So let's go on. Now, dealing with some things here. I want to deal with a couple things here. Now, dealing with this, I said it on the last one, so we might as well go ahead and do what we got to do. But if you ever wanted to, you know, a fine way to do it and all, just get in touch with me or the brother R.D. and all, and, you know, and get that for the people that know us in the circle. Now, but basically, because this thing is going all over the country and stuff, so damn, you know, there's two entities that come with this, which is now, and what I'm trying to say is this. This is only acting as a vessel or a gas or a flow of energy to allow two entities to come in the body and heal. So the alcohol is only an opening or a doorway to heal, a doorway of healing for the gods or for the entities. So it is not the entity per se. So when one brother say, this thing's burn brain cells, this has nothing to do with the physical aspect of what this does. This is medicinal in the aspect that it is dealing with the spirit world. So this overrides the physical things that some people are reluctant to try this alcohol based on what they think physically is going to happen. There's two entities, Tiatia and Sheola. Two entities, Tiatia and Sheola, about like Isis and Neptys. But these two entities, so whenever you drink this stuff for healing, all you got to do is call on these two doggone entities and they will heal whatever it is. Tiatia, and Sheola. You see, this is from, it comes from the Congo rites, but these are some additional entities that what they call, they got some entities they call the outer gods. That means that whatever this dimension is or whatever this universe, there's gateways and there's these entities that dwell outside of the universe that wasn't included in this form of creation. So in March of 2001, these particular entities, are four of them, Tiatia, Sheola, Otincha, Shumala, and Omagumu, was these 4 or 5 entities that came. Tiatia, Sheola, Otincha, Shumala, and Omagumu. These are 4 entities that came from the outside, and then later on about, I think in March, in the end of March, 2 other ones came. A warrior called Kakumbo, and a warrior called Lokeo, a sister called Lokeo. So that makes 6 of these particular entities that are additional entities from the 11 Apollo spirits, which has come from the Congo, Africa. So these particular ones are ones that was locked out from the outside, of the known universe. And they call them the outer gods. That's all in Necronomicon mythology. And so these particular 4 entities came in. And these 2, Sheola and Tiatia, are 2 entities, these 2 feminine entities, that are the healing aspects of these particular, are the nurturing aspects of this particular formula that was given to me by Tiatia and Sheola. We call it the elixir. You see, are them 2 sisters. That's the new name for it. What's that?
So would it be safe to say that if you have a particular mind state and you're using that strictly for healing purposes and not to enjoy the sensory pleasure or to lose sight of your current whereabouts, if you use it for that particular purpose, you will do just that?
No, we talking about using it for that particular and using it for pleasure and lose your particular whereabouts. See, what we do is, see, what you just did is, no, not you, but I'm just trying to show you what was just occurred here. That,
I'm coming from a holistic perspective.
yeah, a holistic perspective. Now, okay, let me explain something about what we're dealing with here. Okay, now let me explain what we're dealing with here. And this, what you're doing is, see, this is very interesting because, see, that's why we say we won't question and answer, because your question is actually an answer. That's how you get the spirit realm rolling, is when we don't pose these particular questions. When we don't pose these particular questions. Now, try to understand this. What we're dealing with here is the straight spirit world and the underworld. The spirit world and the underworld. Now, there's a difference between the spirit world and the holistic world. The holistic world is a whole nother realm that's just dealing with keeping your body afloat. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with the spirit world whatsoever. I don't give a fuck what the motherfucker's saying. No, I know metaphysics. Because the spirit world comes out of putrefaction. The phoenix rises up from the ashes. Even the light that burns the brightest burns the least. Now, one has nothing to do with the other. Now, we're not talking, now, so try to understand this. When I gave you the two entities, I just said that it overrides the physical aspect of what alcohol would do to a people who abused alcohol in the system or the history of people abusing alcohol. So what we're dealing with here is we're dealing with something that's overriding that, because what we're dealing with here, we're dealing with a spiritual realm. Isn't it funny that it takes this same shit to blow on them gods, because these gods, most of these systems require alcohol? Ain't that some shit? They require alcohol. Is it not written in your law that ye are gods? You understand what I'm saying? So it just depends on what level you own based on, whether you're human or whether you're immortal. Now, the key here is this here. This whole concept here is not to further humanity or sustain humanity. This is a whole nother realm that we're dealing with. And it's interesting you said that, because that's the most beautiful thing, because I might have forgot. What we're talking about here in this new paradigm as 2001 is humanity is the enemy. Listen what I'm saying. Humanity is the enemy. So let's try to understand that, which we have to go back to the original gnosis or the original primal fuck up to try to understand what's going on. If we were entities or gods at one time, and we were thrust into a lowly, menial, animal position called humanity, then the goal is not to sustain humanity. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, whatever. It is to go beyond humanity. So in an existence of, like I always say, caterpillar goes into the cocoon and comes out a butterfly. The cocoon stage that we are in, as Alvin Boyd Kuhn says in Lost Light and Lost Light in the other book, what's the name of the book? Alvin Boyd Kuhn book on the Christ thing. Name of that book, Who is this King of Glory? That humanity is only an infant stage that has to go to the adult level. Now, going to the adult level is not sustaining the infant stage or the cocoon. We're talking about a metamorphosizing or basically going beyond or redoing something or casting off the skin of the snake. So what we're talking about here is not a holistic approach. There's two different systems. We're not talking about a holistic approach that everybody's into the diet and all that kind of thing here and all. That's one approach, and that is good for medicinal or whatever if you're trying to sustain yourself as far as you don't want a gut ache. But what we're talking about here is a whole other system that has nothing to do with becoming the best human you can be, being all you can never be in a fucked up place like Earth. You see. So we're talking about acting. So when the gods say, I want some of this, I'm saying, motherfucker, I want some of that. You see, I'm not, so what we're dealing with here, we're dealing with on a whole nother plane. So we're not talking about, because we got about 12,000 people with diet right now. That's become the new religion. And that is fine. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, common sense tell you, we was talking about this the other day, common sense tell you when she said that, and which is interesting, I remember damn near everybody I know except me got their tonsils cut out when they was young. But we know that it is the tonsils that is the first warning to tell you sick. That's the monitor. So we know that the white boy is cutting out the tonsils and all, because one reason why he's cutting out because we live in a carnivorous society. You see what I'm saying? So damn cutting out the beef, we're going to cut out the goddamn tonsils. So we understand the importance, of health. Don't get me wrong. But what we're talking about here is something beyond humanity. Fuck humanity. Humanity is fucked up. That's why I say it's bordering on the mentally insane. I just figured this shit out. It isn't mentally insane. There's only thing interesting these damn days. So we're talking about a new jump. So therefore, we're not talking about this particular stuff as far as, this is not the healing process as you would know as medicinal. I'm telling you that the spirits, in order for them to heal you, they need a doorway opening. So it's a difference. Give you an example. The whole movie last night is Denzel's son fell out on the field and he needed a new damn heart. He got to go beg these white people and damn near turn out the whole city to get them to save him, when in actuality, all he needed was some of this shit here and a motherfucker knowing what the hell they can do, and that goddamn heart would have been healed in a day. You see what I'm saying? Now, let me give you an example. The book, Rudolf Steiner's book, it's called, what's the name of that book? I think I got it someplace. It's called Universe, Earth, and Man. Rudolf Steiner was a Rosicrucian and an esoteric scholar that was Adolf Hitler and them teacher before Adolf Hitler and the Thule Society came to rule. And later on, Adolf Hitler and them burned down his headquarters, and he died from a broken heart because all his papers was burned up. And then they had to go back and take books and make lectures out of his particular books. In his book, Universe, Earth, and Man, he explained that, yes, we did have surgery in the ancient world, but that was the last resort. You see what I'm saying? Now, what he explained was so profound. Those same temples, the temple of Esna, the temple of Komombo, the temple of Edfu, the temple of Dendera, the temple of Luxor, the temple of Karnak, you see what I'm saying? The Ramessean, the temple of Seti I. These particular temples all over, the temple of Isis at Philae, not only were they places of worship, they were damn hospitals. Now, what did they do? How did hospitals? They could operate on you. That was the last thing. Surgery was the last resort. But what they simply would do, because they were masters of what they do, they'd take the body and bring it in the temple and do some shit and invoke the gods, and the gods come in and operate on the body. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what we're talking about with this shit right here.
You're not talking about the physical liquor.
We're not talking about the physical liquor. That's exactly what I said. We're not talking about the physical liquor, but the physical liquor is a doorway. It's an opening. So this is higher than any little shit that you can get some foo-foo or whatever motherfuckers and savory in them motherfuckers. This is higher than that shit. We ain't talking no Dr. Sabi here, or whoever motherfucker telling you to get some grain and all that bullshit. We talking some shit higher than that. I ain't hitting and missing, hoping some bullshit work. I'm telling you some shit that works. But we had that, see, that's the thing. We had that type of higher science. The other stuff is the byproduct and the low end of shit that we thinking is the high end of shit that we calling holistic. Basically, this stuff, there was a higher realm. When you get down to that realm, it's hit or miss. Because if your body too fucked up, you can eat all that shit you want to. It's already going to go. You see, but if you're dealing with the higher realm of this particular stuff, these are laws and these are only sciences that we have lost. Why did the Moors give them this shit? You understand what I'm saying? That's why did the Moors give them. So on one hand, you have to override that particular aspect of what we think is even the highest form of health. You see what I'm saying? That's that much of science that has been lost in the ancient world. Take, for instance, there's foods and spices that the Africans used to cook with, because they talk about it in ancient history. When Constantine traveled around the country or traveled around the world with his African cooks, there's foods and spices that the Africans prepared food with that is lost to history. You see, and whatever exotic meals we think around the world can't even compare to the shit that them Africans used to deal with. So there's so much stuff over the course of millions of years, despite what we think. Or some Bible people walking around in some goddamn sandals and some Abraham idiotics. stuff. There's millions of things that is even lost to history. So even when we say, I know, we are only doggone getting a fragment of it. That's why I tell nobody to never belong to any one system. Any system, including the Egyptian, is only fragments. We are only dealing with fragments in the latter years. That's why you got to put all this shit together, including some shit that come out your head. You see what I'm saying? Because what's coming out of your head is the ancient stuff that is never lost. So when it came down to mix the brown liquor and the white liquor, the white liquor and the brown whiskey together, I said, my goddamn mouth is about to kill me, and that is ridiculous. You see, I was even insane at that particular time. All this knowledge and shit, my mouth was killing me so bad, I said, that is ridiculous. And I took 2 shots and never felt this shit no more. But 2 years before, I had to go 3 days, walking the damn hall. Can't even lay down. And it took 2 shots. You see what I'm saying? 2 shots. And yes, I was feeling nice also. Because that's a part of the other realm. So pleasure is good. That's that fundamentalistic thing to tell you, I'm going to flog myself. Flog myself. Some motherfucker whipping his ass, saying, I must deny myself the indulging of anything pleasurable. All there is down in this motherfucker, you better have some kind of vice.
Why would that be denied?
Huh?
Why would that be denied?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
I don't have the desire to do that. I don't see it as denied.
Huh? Wait a minute. What I'm trying to say is this here. Well, if you don't have the desire to do that, no, that's whatever you're dealing with. That's fine. But what I'm trying to say, if there was a desire, would that be wrong? You understand what I'm saying? Would that be wrong? That's what I'm trying to say. Not whatever floats your boat. That's you. That's 1,000 people up in here. Some motherfuckers like to get a needle stuck up their ass. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might get a safety pin on the head of their penis. Whatever. I ain't talking about what your personal likes and dislikes is. I'm saying the indulging in that, in the historical concept of, and mainly the last 2,000 years, is to tell you that it's wrong, is some bullshit. And that is some people that is trying to keep the ecstasy realm out for you to go to the next level. You see what I'm saying? For you to go to the next level. And this thing don't just come in Christianity, it even come in half the yogi shit. That's some of the biggest get-over motherfuckers on the planet, is the yogi shit. Yeah, them same bastard-ass yogi motherfuckers, them curry motherfuckers. But yet, this Yogananda bastard, he ain't saw a black motherfucker when he came over here. That nigga was a con man. I don't blame him. Shitting them poor white folks to think that they can meditate themselves to a higher level. We still catching hell from that damn beast, and we ain't had one convert to Christ with that cracker. You see what I'm saying? But yet everything is spiritual criteria based on some cracker telling us what we got to do. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say here is there's all types of things, all types of systems, and to be honest with you, those systems on the planet, they might have served a purpose for that particular time of humanity we knew we had down here, but all that shit is defunct now. Most rituals and most systems are African. So the point about it is this here. When stuff comes from another realm like that, that's what we have now. It's the new paradigm shit. And so we look for the most sublime in the most ridiculous. You get how this thing goes here? We're trying to deal with another aspect, and it's not some stuff that we can't back up based on scholarship. Because one thing about it is this type thing here, if anybody know my stuff for the last 10 years, I've been lugging around these books around the United States to damn legitimize this stuff, because I don't want nobody to say, well, Bobby said that shit, and you go, we don't know where that nigga getting his shit from. So I put more scholarship in my stuff than anybody else that claim to be on this metaphysical realm, and we sit there and he just goes, because I say it's so. You know what I'm saying? So we're not dealing with that when it comes to me. And most people have benefited from my tapes because I took the time to give you something that you can have after Bobby Hemmitt is gone, cooking on his goddamn one-ass eye. You see, so dealing with this particular science, we're not talking about medicinal health. You just healthy assholes and healthy fools. But ain't nobody going to the high level. You understand what I'm saying? Health ain't got nothing to do with it. Health is just keeping up the physical body. You know what I'm saying? That's like painting this wall. Paint just put the paint on the damn wall. But it has nothing to do with whether I'm going to go to my Christhood based on this wall that's painted. One is just to sustain a structure. So we're talking about something on a spiritual level. So when I say putting this stuff, don't the gods use this shit? Am I lying? Don't the gods use it? All right then, so when you say it's good enough for the gods, but yet it ain't good enough for me. Well, you know, you got a physical body, no. The object is to get this motherfucker off of us. This is bullshit. This is the imprisonment. You should despise this. You know what I'm saying? And that's the object. So we're dealing with another structure. This is not your basic lecture to deal with the improvement of your life. This is to deal with the destruction of your life. This is, well, that's a nice beetle. This is not good. It is evil. That's what it's supposed to be. I know you say this thing is crazy. What I am dealing with here is I'm dealing with the black keys on the piano. I'm dealing with the spaces between the beats. I'm dealing with the dark between the light. So, teacher and Shayola, so I give out the what you call it and all, because the Spirit called for that. So that's what the deal is. Yeah, go ahead.
You said something about health.
Yeah.
And those things would be to be health sustaining the physical body. Now, I've done studies on ancient chemistry.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
But the things that I've learned in philosophy state that the reason why you make your body as pure as possible so that the spirit can manifest fully. The spirit can't manifest fully in a tempered body.
Okay, right. In the context of a spirit manifesting in a body for life. Try to understand here. Got to understand where you are and what you are at this particular time. Now, what is the ancient art of ancient Kemet? I always ask this question here. God damn it, you dealing with a motherfucking scholar here. I ain't talking about what sounds good. God damn it, I know my motherfucking shit. And everybody know that. That's why I travel around the goddamn country. And that's why I've been top for goddamn 10 fucking years, because I know my motherfucking shit when it comes to these goddamn books. So I don't want to hear that goddamn shit. You dealing with a master. You dealing with a goddamn master. Where damn stone at? Now, what is the ancient art of ancient Kemet? You gonna deal with ancient Kemet with me? Tell me what the ancient art of ancient Kemet is. There's only one goddamn royal art. I ain't talking about what you know to believe. I'm telling you, let's deal with the motherfucking shit on the scholarship. Tell me what is the ancient art of ancient Kemet. Only one sublime mystery. Go ahead, brother.
To become God.
To become God, but there's one other one. Alchemy. What is the goddamn basis of alchemy? Purification and transformation. You got that scarab hangs around what? Shit. And it is from the shit that you rise up. I know my goddamn shit. I know my shit. That's why nobody don't fuck with me for 10 damn years. Because I study. And I don't take what a motherfucker say to sound good. Alchemy, hold on. Alchemy, there's only one royal art, man. One royal art of ancient Kemet. And all that old shit where motherfuckers think they was talking about alchemy. It's the highest art on the goddamn planet. That's what the shit is. Putrefaction. Transformation through putrefaction. That's what this liquor is. Jesus said what? I am the wine that comes from the motherfucking vine. That's the whole Christ. What is the Christ? The Christ is taking something old and making something new out of it. That is the arcane art of alchemy. You say you know ancient Kemet? Deal with me on Alchemist. That's what they was talking about. I ain't talking about no shit about sitting in some motherfucker meditating. They got that shit in India. We got that shit, that we know that. What we're talking about is this here. Now, let me go into what we're talking about. Yes, they had a health thing to sustain the body in a dispensation of time just for life. But the Egyptians say foolish are the long that lived. The Egyptians say, look here, give me some. Foolish are the long to live. In the book, Alvin Boyd Kuhn lost life.
Hey, Bobby, I heard you say one of your papers that the Egyptian was trying to break the
reincarnation cycle. Alvin Boyd Kuhn, he tells you the Egyptians, we don't even have to even deal with, we could go to India, we can deal with all of it. This is Lost Light by Alvin Boyd Kuhn, which in the 1940s got some work right that is started by Gerald Massey. That the Egyptians say, and they said this to me even Manetho, that there was a bunch of gods that died a couple of thousand years ago. And when those gods died, we are what appeared after the gods died. So what happened, in so many words, those gods died and they started dreaming. And we were what appeared in the dream. That's what's going on right now. That's why the shit is called dreams in the underworld. You ain't real. You are a projection of yourself. You're not even local. It is the physical body that tells you that you exist in here and not where you really are. That's what the Egyptians said. So the whole concept was putrefaction through illumination through putrefaction. Not no sacred temple and sacred body. Yes, we understand we had a certain life cycle that we had to live. We understand that. Hello? We already did that shit. We're in 2002. This ain't about sustaining your life when the cracker telling you, you got to pay for everything. I never thought today when I remember in 1970, when my uncle came home and said, we buy our water. I thought that was so ridiculous. Motherfucker buying their water. Now I do it without question. You got to pay for everything. You on lockdown. And ain't nothing you can do about it. We ain't taking back no goddamn planet. Because I don't want to live with a bunch of y'all motherfuckers if you think the white man bad. You see, so you got to understand time cycles. A lot of the systems and a lot of people are coming back up into metaphysics. They just taking goddamn old ass systems and calling that motherfucker Kemet or whatever. That's some old system that was supposed to sustain you because we had X amount of years, thousands of years on the planet. So there were systems to go to an astral level or whatever the deal was. What we're talking about here is eschatology, the end times. End of story. We fucked up. The goddamn Babalaos is fucking over us, charging us millions of damn dollars, become a goddamn priest and wear some white and don't have sex for a month and years. You see what I'm saying? We got all the kind of people. We got big bald motherfucking monks over there meditating for 50,000 years and ain't nobody hitting the damn lick out of a goddamn stick. You see? We're talking about destruction because that's what the scriptures talk about. After so many thousands of eons, there's the end time event, and that's what Mayat is. Mayat is the end time. Ha-ma. You get the word karma comes from the word harma. Harmageddon. Heru and Mayat. Harmageddon. Armageddon. Comes from the word Harmageddon, which is Horus and Mayat. So we're talking about the eschatology, we're talking about the end times. We're not talking about these age-old systems that everybody telling you to go and meditate on a goddamn candle and don't eat no ice cream at 11 o'clock and all that old bullshit. I done went through tons of them goddamn systems. I'm not talking about that. You got it? Okay, good. I'm not talking about that. Now, what's that, brother?
If you're talking about alchemy, what would you say about experimenting with other chemicals besides alcohol?
Yeah, what we're talking about here is this. Look, let me explain something about nature. A hurricane will come in a natural form of destruction, or something will come in a natural form of purification. But nature is not designed to destroy itself. It's only designed to purify itself. So you will have a hurricane or a volcano eruption, but it's only going to come to a certain head, and then it's going to go dormant. That's the way of nature. The alchemists understood to get beyond just the natural process to turn things into a new reality, you had to crack the cosmic egg, and to go beyond that, you had to manipulate the forces of nature with magic and medicinal or chemical aspects. You see what I'm saying? So yes, all that shit is good. You see, we didn't say that the damn pharmaceutical was not African because it's alchemical. You see, it was alchemical. We're saying that the white boy is telling you only deal with pharmaceutical and don't deal with the natural shit. And you can't have that in a Mayati imbalance. You understand what I'm saying? But what we're dealing with here now is not the improvement of your life. We're dealing with overrunning this shit. And when I get through tonight, I'm going to show you how this shit going to go down, because it's going to come from something that you don't even believe. But don't worry about it. There's some things, no matter how much you can rationalize, there's some times when you get up and you go, God damn, I'm horny. And there ain't no rationalization, no mathematical formula or whatever can I rationalize this motherfucking horniness. It is because it is the force of Eros, and it has nothing to do with what you logically pursue. It just is the primal force. So we're going to deal with some stuff on that particular level, even with the actual dreams. What's that question? You had a question, brother? Go ahead. Go ahead.
What you're dealing with, there was a movie called Invincible. And you got
exactly, right.
Tablet to destroy the earth.
Destroy the earth.
Back home. That was actually good.
That was actually good.
So,
the bad guy in the movie, the bad guy is always good. Because why is it that the bad people come here and see us suffering and aside with the white man to save the earth so he can rule over us? It was actually good. And always the movie motif is to drop the knowledge, but always take it back to what it is. Except that damn movie, Pitch Black, when the two brothers got away. But the two brothers got away because they were the same as the shit on the planet that was killing the crackers.
what's the name of that movie?
Pitch Black. This is the only movie where the two brothers in a science fiction movie where everybody got away. Pitch Black. Pitch Black. Pitch Black. There's only one movie out, Pitch Black. Pitch Black, 1999. Pitch Black, 2000, one of them. Pitch Black, Universal. It's up. She was menstruating, but also too, it was through the darkness that allowed them to manifest. So we're talking about nothing can be accomplished in the waking world. The waking world is for this reality of illusion. The dream world is for the only reality of reality, the only aspect of reality, but there's one way you can dream, and I found out that is by the pharmaceutical other than the medicinal on this one. Oh yes, because we're still talking alchemy, so you can't get away from it. I don't give a damn if the white boy does some shit. It ain't all this white, this ain't all just the white boy. There's some things alchemical. And there's one way it's a straight shot. Now the Upanishad says, the principal Upanishad says that when a person goes into deep sleep, he goes to his higher self. So you only go to your higher self in deep sleep. In deep sleep. That's the only time you live, is in deep sleep. The waking world is the dream world, and that what you call the dream world is the real world. So nothing you do on this shit, everything that you do in this world is futile. It's senseless, and it is not even reality, and it never existed. You see what I'm saying? It never existed. So just the 99.9 of every conscious movement and even the metaphysical is bordering on the fucking waking world. And what we're talking about here is something totally, that's why I gave you the concept of death. I did all of 1999. I dealt with death. 2000, I'm dealing with sleep. So we're dealing with something outside of the normal function. You got to understand who gives you what and what lectures you go to. This is what I deal with. You see what I'm saying? I deal with the stuff that don't supposed to make no sense because you ain't used to it. So if it's logical, rational, it ain't the damn place to be. It is that other thing. And whenever things become logical and rational, it ceases to be knowledge. It's only regurgitation. I'm giving you some shit you agree to. That's not knowledge. It was knowledge prior to you knowing it. But that's not knowledge. That's why I don't even agree with myself 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Because you constantly supposed to be growing. So therefore, there ain't no Bobby Hemmitt theology. You see what I'm saying? Keep going. And that's the problem with most of the people. They get a certain theology. And they don't want to go beyond that theology because that's what made them famous. I ain't trying to be famous. We're trying to get the fuck up out of here. And when we wake up, if we still ain't out of here, we got work to do. So it's not about the theology. It's never good enough if it didn't produce the result of ending this motherfucking shit. You see, so there's no Bobby Hemmitt theology because the simple fact, this is a work in progress and a process. That's the journey. The journey keeps going until you get to the pot of gold. So there's no theology. You understand what I'm saying? So what I was dealing with 7 years ago, it had the elements in it, but we constantly keep going. What's that, sister? No, astral travel is one part. This is the part. So let me get into this. That's very. See, that's how the questions come up.
What about lucid dreaming?
Your lucid dreaming is more a part of it. But let me explain something about the astral travel. Because I want to get this thing straight. Because this has been a problematic situation when it comes to most people and the yogas and meditation and all of this and all this ascended masters bullshit. Okay. We live in a universe. The particular universe we live in a physical part of the universe, and then we live in different dimensions of that universe. We just happen to live in the physical part of the universe. So even if you travel out in a physical universe, you will still get physical planets and physical things. That's because you're still in the physical universe. Each plane has a universe unto itself. This dimension, the third dimension, is the physical universe. Well, all of it is low. That's the problem. See, the yogis is con men. All of it is fucking low. It's just that those, so this, let me explain what dimensions is. So you try to understand. There's universe A and universe B. The universe are what we call the known universe, the one that we are in now, which all of its dimensions, well, some people say 13 dimensions or whatever. Those dimensions, although we say that this is an illusion, those other dimensions that you go to that is non-physical are also illusionary dimensions. So the yogi transcends and goes to the illusionary dimensions. And we be thinking that's a ascended master. Only thing he has done is he's gone to a dimension outside of the physical, but nevertheless, although it's not physical, he's still in an illusionary phenomenon. All 13 dimensions is a form of illusionary phenomenon because this particular universe is an illusionary holographic universe with all its dimensions. So astral traveling, although you do astral travel and it is an experience unto itself, it is still comprised into this particular holographic universe. Although you might be outside of the physical third dimension, the other dimensions are astral planes or illusionary phenomenon too. And so therefore, what we're talking about here is a jump to universe B, which is the real universe. So even outside of the physical body, anything that's comprised in this particular universe, in the yogi masters of sin, they are still in illusion. There's just physical aspects of that. What we're talking about is the unknown universe, universe B. And that's the universe that's the particular universe that the yogi, all these ascended masters don't even have access to, because that particular universe is only been formed at this particular point right now. It is the New Jerusalem. So it is the ending of all other illusionary phenomena in other planes. So that's the deal about you go, and so meditation only gets you to different aspects of the astral plane. But the only real true freedom to universe B is outside of the physical body completely. But if you die in the particular universe prior to your soul creating a doorway to universe B, then you just bounce around in reincarnation, still entrapped in this bullshit universe. So what we're talking about now is the overhauling of the complete system altogether. So this is why there's confusion going on with all these so-called masters telling you to meditate into primal bliss, and all that is some other motherfucking bullshit of another illusion. What we're talking about here is total destruction, chaos, the chaos sphere, chaos magic, the chaos doorway. That is the ending of all other illusionary phenomena. And ultimately, that is the Horus principle. That's why the Horus, you don't see Horus with doing one thing. I talked about this in several things. All this righteousness and beautiful. You don't see what Horus doing, Heru doing one thing, kicking ass. That's all he does. You ain't never seen Heru sitting around some 12 other motherfuckers around some damn table, eating some bread. The Heru or the combat myth, he's doing one thing, kicking ass. Now to further deal with that Horus figure in the stuff that is lost in Kemet, that's why you always lose out when you stick to one system. So if we stick to only India, we're losing out. If we stick to only Egypt, we're losing out. If we stick to only West Africa, we're losing out. All systems are fragmented. You have to put it all together to get a complete system, because we are thousands of years removed from the original stories. So in Kemet, the Christ is combat. We won't deal with the Jesus shit. That's degradation. That's religion. We'll just deal with the four aspects of Christ in Kemet, the Horus myth and the Osiris myth. We'll deal with the Typhonian, which most motherfuckers don't deal with. The Typhonian myth, most people don't deal with it, because the Typhonian myth travels out of Kemet, and that becomes the Dionysian myth and the Shiva mythology in India. So now, the Christ in India, he don't do but one thing. What does he do in India? What does Christ do in India? Shiva. Not boots. Huh? Bhagavad Gita is old, late. That's late. See, let me break this down so you'll understand. You got to understand you got to understand the cycle of the pathology of the scriptures you're reading. Bhagavad Gita is late. By the time you get to the Bhagavad Gita, you got a whole lot of human elements. If you go to the Rig Veda, which is the oldest one, 98% of what you're reading is the life and adventures of the gods. And you hardly ever get any human element at all. Okay, by the time you get to the Bhagavad Gita, it's human and moralistic. That's a later day thing. So all because we say Bhagavad Gita and the whole Buddhist system and all that, the Bhagavad Gita of the Buddhist thing, now don't get me wrong, you can always find, now there is arcane elements in the Bhagavad Gita. We don't throw out nothing. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to understand the time cycle. When by the time you get to Buddha, that's the fundamentalistic aspect, just like Christianity, of an older system, which is your Upanishads, going on back into your Ramayana, Ashtar Veda, Rig Veda. You understand what I'm saying? And when you're dealing with those, so it's just like mythology. Most mythology deals with the gods, and then it later on turns into the heroes and on into man. So you got to understand the time cycles. You understand what I'm saying? When it starts dealing with moralism, that's why by the time you get to a Buddhist talking about don't step on a damn bug because that's karma, that's religion. That is his form of Christianity, just like sin. That is because there's a system, a complex system of the Vedic system that they have lost the mysteries, and now karma comes in and you can't do this and don't bump into this because you're going to hell or all this karma on you. That is a degraded system. You get where I'm coming from? So you got to understand the same system happens in all systems. By the time you get to moralism, don't do this, don't do that, that's because they have lost the original meaning of the motifs that meant something totally different. So karma in the ancient system was an alchemical process of taking something from the original thing and what it will eventually turn into in its end state. By the time it gets to the Bhagavad Gita, oh, you got karma on you. Everything you do is karma. Don't look this way, you're going to have karma. Don't look, oh, you're going to have, don't step on that bug, you're going to have karma. That's just the same thing as being born in sin. Huh? Because those people, after thousands of years, they lose the original meaning of what the original motif was, and what happens is they have to relegate it down to the unknown, and therefore it's evil. So then all this karma shit. You're like, but goddamn, I'm finished before I get going. That's like sin. Well, what's the damn point? I might as well just stand still for the rest of my life and don't do shit. I can't do nothing. That's what Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism say. Don't do shit, and you'll be all right. Because anything you do, that's fucked up. You understand? Now, see, to me, that's the motherfucker that done lost his mind. And that's what happened with these people. They lost the original meaning of this stuff. You get where I'm coming from here? They lose the original meaning of this particular information. So that's what's going on. So even the Buddhist things, because what it is, why are these things, we get trapped in these particular things? Because we like to, because the Buddhists, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and those things, they are all come to us in institutions, in sectarian type religion, and it's too easy for us to go sit down and have somebody coach us into what we want to believe other than us having a dissecting mind and going into this stuff and studying it for yourself and going, I ain't going to believe into that shit until I get a constant pattern to see when this thing lines up so ancient till you get the same story over and over again, then you know you're dealing with the truth. So there's a scientific approach, and too often we just want to just go and have somebody tell us, get 10 Hail Marys and call me in the morning. You see what I'm saying? Or take 3 aspirin and call me in the morning. Or 1 out of 10 doctors say, this motherfucker good. You see where I'm coming from? That's because so too often we still get in the system and we still look for people telling you, believe in what I say, don't be the scientist. You see what I'm saying? Don't be the scientist. And that's what I've been telling people for 10 years. Be the scientist. You get the science on what I'm talking about here? So that's the reason why, even in the new bullshit, we Kemet and all this kind of shit here, but the only thing we have done mostly with Kemet is we just Egyptianized Christian concepts of what we call piety, righteousness. And what we're talking about here is now becoming evil. Evil is good. Becoming evil, because anything blasphemous to the present system is considered evil. What is evil? Anything that is not logged into the Christian canon. You see what I'm saying? They say, don't bump into nothing. And you are damned because you are here. But in so many words, we are damned because we're here, because you're in a physical body, you're already cast down. So now, how much time we got? 2 minutes? 2 minutes, okay. So, now, what we need to cover is this particular underworld and the dream world and work our way up to the aspect of what is the only and future gateway of getting out of here. That's the key now. We're trying to reduce this thing down to bypassing all the systems that don't work and what make us feel good. So yes, there's thousands of systems and we can study a quilt with different patches on the bed. And yes, there could be different patches, different designs in the patches, the stitching in the patches, the geometrical shapes of the patches. But when it comes to the bed, it's still only a quilt on the bed, and you got to pull back the quilt to get to the bed. So we are permeating to the only avenues on what it takes to get out of here, and it is bordering into the ridiculous and the world of insanity. You know, it's interesting, when you was a child, the world of insanity was reality, and when you became an adult, the world of the child became insane. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about the world of insanity to turn this shit all around, because we have to rebel now against piety, which is, you know, for the people, righteousness. You see what I'm saying? And we're not telling you to go out here and to be against the people. We're not talking about that, because we're not talking about something you can go back home and tell your parents. If it's some shit that your parents agree to, you should be suspect on it. Especially your cousins and your uncle and all them idiots. This has nothing to do with your loved ones. You understand what I'm saying? Good old colored folks. That's not what this is about. If it's something that is a plateau or a movement that we can all come to a consensus on, we don't want nothing to do with it. We don't want nothing that we can agree upon with the masses of the goddamn people. We're only talking about the exclusive people that are here today and tomorrow to deal with this particular science. And in this particular case, we're talking about the insane world when it comes to this matrix, and the sane world outside of this matrix. It's only insane, it's only mentally ill, because it is too old to sustain this bullshit we live in now. And it is, and nothing can support something that ancient anymore, so that ancient has to rebel against it, and there's got to be flaws in it, because it is in the putrefaction that we get illumination. We're talking alchemy here now. The highest art form in ancient Kemet, the black arts of Osiris. Get that in Thrice Great Hermes book, G.R.S. Mead, 1907, Thrice Great Hermes, a section called The Black Rites of Osiris. Thrice Great Hermes, G.R.S. Mead. No. This is the Hermetic. The Kabbalion is a comprisement of the divine Primordials, which is a first section of the Hermeticus corpus. The divine Primordials is what the Kabbalion has taken from. Those are basic fundamental laws. Those are those are basic fundamental laws of the first section of the Corpus Hermeticus, which is 32,000 papyrus rolls of Tahuti. But in some fragments, in the fragments that came down to us, you get a whole section, a whole book, 3 volumes, Thrice Great Hermes, G.R.S. Mead, 1907. 3rd volume, The Black Rites of Osiris, which is talking about, ain't no mystery, it's alchemy and the study of melanin. And melanin is the demon. That's what we got to get into. That's why you can't be righteous, because we're talking about the demon, the Damien. And we talking about the Damien. What's that, brother?
Hermes is really
Tahuti. Thoth. That's the Greek word for Tahuti is Hermes, which is Thoth or Tahuti, which is so what it is basically the Thrice Great Hermes and stuff. It's in Latin because it was the Romans who wrestled this particular stuff out of the Library of Alexandria. So, but although it's in Latin, it is some of the fragments that is left over from the mystery schools. and stuff, and it comes to us through, most of it comes to us through Latin before they burned down the damn Library of Alexandria twice. But, so these particular fragments is left behind. But then again, on the other hand, these particular fragments, the whole Corpus Hermeticus is the whole ancient, half this stuff that we have, even Gnosticism, even Kabbalah, all that stuff comes out of the Hermetic mysteries. Music, liquor. So I'm just drinking this. Liquor, music, dance, anything that you can think of on the artistic, the plays, drama, all of that stuff is parts of the whole Hermetic mystery, including the pharmaceutical, we just call it chemistry. You see what I'm saying? But chemistry is a byproduct of alchemy. So what it is this here. So we got all these new chematologists, and they're studying the gods on the walls, but the gods on the walls are nothing but formulas. And those formulas are comprised in alchemy. And alchemy is the working of the body and the study of melanin. And melanin is a putrefied substance. It is a cosmic substance that is dead, that died before the universe was destroyed. So when the universe was destroyed, there were some building blocks that went into making this particular universe we live in. The stuff that was left behind is in your body, and that's what melanin is. The cosmic filth. When you say filth, we're talking about here is, when you hear these scriptures they talk about cosmic filth. They're not talking about nasty in what is filth in this particular earthly realm. Filth they're talking about is something that is alien to the creation or the created world. So it is that which is outside of the created world, and that's a virus or an alien strain. That's what melanin is. The Satan. The word melanin and Satan is one and the same. You are Satan. We'll get back into that particular stuff. So we're talking about that particular strain, and that's what the system of alchemy is talking about. And it doesn't necessarily have to line up with the laws or the basic fundamental laws of the creation world. This is above that. So therefore, this applies. You see what I'm saying? So in chaos magic, they say nothing is true, all is permitted. Why do they say that? Nothing is true, all is permitted. Because if you're going on truth, you're just talking about a film strip in one little frame of what was true at one particular portion of time, but we're talking millions of years. So we take it all. That's what the white boy is going for. That's why he's leaps and bounds up ahead of us. He ain't going by culture like us. We worrying about Yoruba, Voodoo, Egypt, Kemet, Hebrews and shit. He's saying, I don't belong to none of that shit, so I can use it all. And that's how it is. But he's dealing with the fragment, and that's what we got to get into. Not being in one particular sectarian nothing, not even Kemet.